All right, I'm coming to you from our stateroom here on the Carnival Spirit, and I wanted to go through everything that you need to know for your Carnival cruise and what you can expect regarding documentation and all that kind of stuff that they will deliver to you throughout your cruise. So let's get started with what you need in order to get onto the ship in the first place. So as you can see, there is a pile of stuff to go through here, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But in order to get on the ship, there are a couple of things you're going to need. This is your boarding pass. Now, specifically getting in from Seattle, you are going to need to print this off, as well as your luggage tags. Now, please excuse how beaten up our luggage tags are here, but we have used them, of course. So these managed to get our suitcases onto the ship, so we know that they work. Just like the boarding pass, you will need to physically print this one off. Luckily, we were able to do this at the hotel we were staying at in Seattle, and they were able to help put this on for us. I'm guessing they get a lot of people getting on cruises from there. This is for one piece of luggage. Don't think you can cut this in half and use it on two different ones. This is for one. So the way this one works, they got the instructions on the side, but essentially you fold one side over the other. A little bit of a mess here. Fold it over, and then if you can, staple it together like that. So if you imagine your handle is through that little hole there. So again, do not cut them in half. This is not for two different pieces of luggage. This is just for one. And just to confirm with that, you're only going to get one of those per person, but you are more than welcome to print off multiple in case you've got multiple bags. So for example, Amanda and I had 2 checked bags each, so we just printed that off twice each, and we were able to do that. Not a problem at all. Now the fun has begun. We are officially on the ship. What can we expect to get? Let's check it out. First things first, when you enter your stateroom, you can find this little fold out right here, and you can indeed order room service. Now there are some cruise ships where that is an all-inclusive thing. On Carnival, you do have to pay extra. You can do breakfast, which can be really handy if you've got an early morning. And even though we decided to get up early and just go get our breakfast rather than paying extra for it. But if you're someone who just wants to have that here, of course you can definitely do that. Then you can have food throughout the day, and you can even get some drinks here as well. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you can look forward to. Life is a combination of fun and food. That's a cool shot considering we actually have that shot from this Alaska cruise of a whale diving into the water. Now, if you happen to book any port adventures through Carnival, then you can expect to find this envelope with a whole bunch of tickets based on what you purchase. So make sure you look out for that and grab that as soon as it comes. We got ours on our first night on the cruise. So definitely grab that one, keep a hold of those. You are going to need those physical tickets for all of your excursions. Now, a couple of things regarding the excursions here. Sometimes, depending on the kind of cruise that you're going on, you can get some discounts while you're on the ship if you haven't booked all of your adventures, they call them here. I would recommend you book those ahead of time because they do fill up pretty quickly, obviously the most popular ones. But having said that, if there are others or you change your mind or anything like that, you can always book them while you're on the ship. So you can use things like this, or you can find stuff like 10% discounts and all that good stuff here. Pretty much on any cruise, you can always find discounts on the spa and the jewelry shops, but it's nice that they also have discounts for port adventures as well. Something else you can expect to find outside of your stateroom every single evening is this Fun Times fold out here. And this breaks down everything about the following day, specifically on the cruise ship. So for example, tonight we are porting in Victoria. So this showed up in our stateroom just last night. And this goes through everything that's happening on the ship today. So then we know what's going on. If you open this one up, breaks down pretty much everything you could possibly want here, where you can get food or any special restaurant things happening throughout the day, drinks, shore excursions they recommend, anything from the spa and what time the fitness centers are open, all the music, movies and casino information you could possibly need, and shopping information as well. Keep on going. It's also got a complete breakdown of all of your activities throughout the day from morning, afternoon and evening. You've even got some information about the gangways as well. So you will be receiving one of these every single night on your cruise ship, and that is always for the next day. Now, once you get to your port and you're getting off of the ship, you can expect to find one of these handouts right here. So as you can see, it lays out where you are and some cool details about it, as well as fun facts and maybe some places that you want to check out for food. So Carnival's very own recommendations for shore excursions, fun facts about the port, even a map laying it all out there. Definitely recommend checking this out. This did help us a bit when making some decisions about where to eat, but luckily we've got some other ones for you that we like as well. So make sure you check out our video of Skagway, one of our most favorite days we've had ever while traveling. You'll also find this good to know information sheet when you first arrive. This is definitely worth having a look over as well. One thing that's good to know is that you can get Wi-Fi on these ships. I will say with Carnival, it is pretty expensive. I believe for our cruise, it was about $180 for Wi-Fi just for one person, one device, I believe it was. Otherwise, Amanda was able to get 24 hours on one device for, I think it was $32 or something like that, because we needed internet. So it's a fairly high cost there, not one I tend to recommend, but Carnival does tend to be known as a budget cruise line, so that's why these things aren't included like some others there. So you just got to pick and choose what is best for you. I will say, however, there is a Wi-Fi that you can access, so you can access the Carnival Hub app with onboard chat. And that'll also, aside from giving you access to chat, give you access to everything that's happening throughout the ship. And in case you need a little more information about the adventures that you can book, if you haven't done so ahead of time, or even if you just want to look up ones that you didn't book or anything like that, they give you this booklet here. And it's a fairly lengthy one. We're not going to go through every page, but to give you an idea, if we open this one up, for example, our first stop was at Skagway. So this goes through their recommendations and their most popular adventures right here, with more details on them on this side as well. We actually did the sled dog adventure and mushers camp. Highly recommend this one. We had a great time. So if you're looking for more information and you want to book here, you can definitely check this one out. They do have a desk downstairs as well, of course, where you can book in with them and ask for any advice and all that good stuff as well. Now, of course, this moment does have to come, and that is debarkation. Always one of the saddest times of any cruise is having to get off of the ship. And I will say we booked faster to the fun, so that is an extra fee that allowed us to get on the ship sooner, and we can debark earlier as well. I'm not sure if it was really worth it for us, even though we were able to get on the ship a little sooner than what we had expected. We're not really planning on debarking that quickly because we're going straight to the airport, but we have an afternoon flight, so this isn't really gonna help us out. But if you've got an early flight or need to get off quickly for any reason, then I would recommend paying extra for that faster to the fun thing there. I think we paid about $180 total for the both of us, so not too bad if you're going to utilize it that way. But that would allow us to get off of the ship way sooner if we wanted to. And speaking of debarking, Carnival does break it down fairly well. You do have a few options here. If you're looking to get off the ship with your luggage as fast as possible, then they recommend that you bring your luggage off of the ship yourself, which, if you don't have too many suitcases or anything, can definitely make sense. For this cruise, we're going with option 2, checked luggage. So we are going to be putting our luggage out the night before. They're going to collect it, and we'll find it off of the ship tomorrow morning, and that is based off of these luggage tags that we're going to be using right here. So we need to attach these to our bags, and we'll be part of group 22 getting off of the ship. So the cruise director, I believe, will be calling our group at some point tomorrow morning, and we'll do that. We specifically went this way because we wanted to stay on the ship a little bit longer and get some breakfast before we head on out to the airport. And speaking of debarking tomorrow morning, they break it down everything that you can expect from the morning, including where you can get breakfast. You can't do room service on a debark morning, so that's good to know. I think we'll probably be going back to Blue Iguana Cantina. Delicious food there. You can also, of course, get your morning coffee, necessary for us. If you're wanting to purchase any photos and stuff, when it comes to Carnival, it's all physical pictures that you have to pick up. So You can do that maybe first thing in the morning. I definitely recommend doing that the night before if you're wanting to purchase those. If for any reason you got anything confiscated for you, I remember we went on a cruise last year and we brought our own steamer with us, and you can't actually bring those with you on the ship. So they confiscated that from us, but we were able to pick that up at the very end of the cruise after we got off of the ship. So looks like they do the exact same thing here as well. Now, Carnival do actually have a third option when it comes to luggage for your debarkation, which I was not aware about until we got this notice right here. They actually have partnerships with American Airlines, Alaska, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, and United, where you can check your bag directly from the ship straight to your plane, depending on the time that you want to disembark and when your flight out of your port is. So this is really handy. We're not taking advantage of this service for this time. It looks like we definitely could have, but honestly we didn't look at this until it was a bit too late. So definitely check in on this, because you can also just check in for your flight using this as well, which actually would have been really helpful because we're not using the Wi-Fi here, so that would have come in handy for us. Luckily though, we are going to be in Victoria tonight where Amanda has service, so we might just try to check in then. But here is the breakdown. All you need to do is fill out your details of your luggage and everything here, and it does break down how much it normally costs to check bags. So, you know, they're trying to make sure it's worth your while. But yeah, pretty cool service that I was not aware about and haven't actually seen before. So shout out to Carnival. That is a great perk. And if you've stayed this long, then you might want to check this out here. I'm probably not allowed to say it out loud, so maybe just give this a little read. But if you're looking to book a Carnival cruise, I don't know if this is going to work, but hey, we love a code. Give it a shot. And this right here is where you're going to find all of this information. So right outside your stateroom cabin. And I will say, none of my neighbors are doing it right now, but these are magnetic doors. So you can feel free to put any kind of magnets up here you want. Some people have designed theirs and decorated them in a really fun way. For example, here is a really fun one. Looks like they're celebrating a big birthday cruise here. Now regarding laundry, we're actually doing some last minute laundry before we get off of the ship, because we have a long flight to Australia coming up right after we get off this cruise. So we wanted to make sure we had some fresh stuff. But if you're going on a long cruise, you can do laundry, even on a short cruise, of course, whatever you want to do. But they do have laundry facilities. We've got 4 different laundries that we can use on this ship ourselves. There's also a service where your guest services team, or your housekeeping team, I should say, will come and they can collect your laundry. It costs a little more, but it works pretty well.
Oh, she's run.
This one's adorable.
Run like that.
Celebrating an Alaska cruise.
Wow.
We got to see some of these animals.
Go, go.
It was a great time. Now we stayed on deck 8. There is a fairly close laundrette to us on deck 7 in midship, even though we were in aft, so not too far away. Unfortunately, that one was completely full night before the cruise. Probably don't usually recommend doing that. So I had to go down to 6 all the way at the forward, and luckily I was able to find some machines available there. So definitely recommend doing it earlier, but this is what you can expect to find. So you come through here, find the laundrette, and this is kind of what it looks like. So looks like my machine here has finished. Costs $3.50 for a load of washing. Gotta pay another, let's see if it lets me do this for you guys, $2 here for any kind of bleach or anything like that. And then another $3.50 here for your dryer. Now thankfully they have a delicate setting on the dryer, so we're going to try that out. We do have some delicate clothes we're going to be trying to dry up here before we head on out, so let's get to it. Alright, so I've just thrown my clothes in. As you can see here, there are 2 machines, so I just got to make sure I'm using the right one, and luckily this arrow right here makes it pretty clear. So just going to swipe my card, make sure it's the right way. Alright, charge has been approved. I'm gonna flick this over to delicate. There, I guess. And then push to start. And away we go. Now my guess is that's probably going to take about 45 minutes. It looks like this one, the washer, took about 30, so we'll come back in about 40 and see how we do, because then after that, we're going to have some dinner and head off for the ship so we can go check out Canada. So on the night of debarkation, this is what you can expect to see in the hallways. Everybody's got their luggage tagged and ready to go. So you can see the different boarding groups they're going to be part of here. So we're running about 20 minutes behind. We still need to put our luggage out, but we'll get there in time. Once you're done with your cruise, you got to do the long gangway. Get all the way off of the ship. You get to take your last look. Thanks, Carnival Spirit. Had a great time in Alaska. So much going on. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope it really helps with your upcoming Carnival cruise. If it did, be sure to give it a like and make sure you subscribe, as we have a lot more adventures on the way. And if you want to see our whole adventure in Alaska, click this playlist right here. Bye everybody.